4 eager chefs, 4 historical eras, but just one prize. Who will be crowned Historical Master Chef?
I want one of these historical chefs to cook some food for me and for me to really like it.
Anne is from the Stuart era and is head cook at a manor house in Yorkshire.
Excuse me, I can't figure out how this works. Where's the dog?
The dog?
Yeah, in our Stuart house, I cook meat over a fire on a spit, turned by a dog walking around a wheel.
There you go, love.
Ah! That's the work of a witch!
Ah.
Okay, people, 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes.
3 minutes.
2 minutes.
8 minutes. 8 minutes.
You're looking very relaxed, Anne.
11 minutes.
Well, of course I am. I've got this competition sewn up, love. Today I will be serving this. It's called
A banana.
You've seen one before?
Yeah, it's a banana.
They're very new and exciting in Stuart times.
Not now, they're not. I'd seriously think about serving something up with that. Maybe a pineapple.
Are you out of your mind? You can't just eat pineapple. It's far too expensive.
It smells a bit rotten, Anne.
It's been on the Lord of the Manor's mantelpiece for weeks. He puts it there to show off how rich he is.
3 minutes.
I'd seriously start thinking about something else to serve, Anne, and fast.
Anne is going all out to impress and serves up a range of foodstuffs new to the Stuart era.
So, Anne, what do you have for us?
Well, this is a brand new brewed beverage that we Stuarts like to
It's
call...
tea.
You know it? Right, OK, well then we'll move straight on to the bold new flavour of coffee. In that case, maybe we'll just cut straight to the groundbreaking Stuart dessert.
It's
of
ice cream. I'm sorry, Anne, we've seen all this before.
Hold on, John. That looks new.
Sweet smelling, jelly-like consistency. It's very interesting.
Well, I mean, that's hardly new. It's an old Stuart delicacy that Charles II likes to have for breakfast with his eggs. It's called ambergris.
And what exactly is ambergris?
Regurgitated whale phlegm.
Anne, that is exciting. It's unusual. And for that reason, we're putting you through to the next round. Congratulations. Don't worry, we'll get you another one.
This is Victorian Dragons Den. It's Victorian Britain, an age of enterprise and industry when many great inventions were, well, invented by inventors. So can any of tonight's candidates convince the dragons to put money behind their ideas? First up, it's Mr. Nathaniel Twonk.
Gentlemen and lady, allow me to explain a most efficacious device that I have invented. I call it the automatic bottle washer. This device will automatically wash bottles for hours on end without the need for attention or adjustment.
Oh, it's marvellous, yes. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Our next hopeful inventor is Mrs. Edwina Gruelbucket.
Gentlemen and madam, I wish to present you with a golden opportunity to invest in my most marvellous invention, the automatic potato harvester.
Wonderful.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Well, it's been a good day for our hopefuls so far. Let's see if Sir Chesterton Widebelly can make it a clean sweep.
Lady and gentlemen, I have invented something which I believe will truly change the world. I call it the vacuum cleaner.
But what does it do?
It sucks. Oh dear.
It sucks, all right.
The dragons aren't impressed.
Never mind.
Can Chesterton win them round?
You could use this instead.
Oh, you see, now that's more like it. Yes, I'm in.
Oh, I'm in.
I'm in, yes.
This week on Historical Wife Swap, these Egyptian peasants will be doing a wife swap with Pharaoh Ramesses II and his wife Nefertari. So how will these different ancient Egyptian couples get on?
Oh, who are you?
Mrs. Pharaoh?
Shouldn't you be at my house?
Mrs. Pharaoh is at your house. I'm Mrs. Pharaoh number 2. Ramesses II's got 6 wives.
Bit greedy.
And 200 girlfriends.
I am the great Pharaoh, born of Ra, chosen of Ra, for powerful is the truth of Ra. Half king, half god, master of all I survey, Ramesses II, glory be to my name. And you are...
Susan.
An honor for you to meet me.
So what will Nefertari, the Pharaoh's number 1 wife, make of Mr. Peasant?
Oh, Your Majesty.
Get up, peasant. But don't look at me. Oh, it's that terrible smell.
Could be me, Your Majesty. I've been dragging 2-ton boulders round the desert to help build your husband's temple.
No, you do stink, peasant, but it's much worse than that.
Oh, could be the gazelle dung I've put on the floor.
Oh, what on earth would you do that?
Keeps the rats away from food.
Rats!
Or it could be the walls. They're made of manure. And the Nile flooded the hut last month, so there's still a bit, how shall I put it, sweaty.
I can tell I'm going to just love it here.
Great.
Meanwhile, over at the palace, it's dinner time.
Here, peasant, try one of these.
What is it, my Pharaoh?
Locusts and honey.
That's delicious.
I think I'm going to grab an early night. I have to be up before the sun comes up. Well, obviously I do. I'm the one who gets the sun up. I've done a joke. That's more like it.
You won't believe this. The royal palace has got beds with comfy pillows made of stone and a sort of seat thing that you sit on to go to the toilet. What will they think of next?
And it's also dinner time in the peasant hut.
Oh!
Sorry, Your Majesty. We do get a lot of mosquitoes. That's the downside of living near the Nile. The plus side is that the Nile floods, so the soil here is very fertile. And when it does flood, we farmers get a few months off to go to the desert and drag around 2-ton boulders for Pharaoh.
Ow! Well, at least it gets you away from all these mosquitoes.
And nearer the deadly scorpions. Do you not want your onion?
Don't look at me! You're not going to believe where I had to sleep. On some straw, on the floor. Yeah, that's right. On the floor with all the gazelle poop. Swear I've got nits. Oh. Look, there's one. I'll have to throw this wig away.
The wife swap is at an end, and it's time for the royal couple and the peasant couple to discuss their experiences.
I understand you've been helping build my temple, the Ramesseum. What an honor for you. How looks the 19-meter statue of me?
Oh, it is magnificent, Pharaoh.
Although not as impressive as the real thing. Your work is done, but I have some good news for you. I would like you to build another massive temple alongside for my favorite wife.
Oh, Rami, baby, that's so sweet.
Oh, you want one too, do you? Don't book any holidays.
We did actually discuss this, Rami.
Did we? I don't remember.
Well, you had a lot of palm wine to drink.
Well, you don't speak up.
Do you think we can get up now, love?
I wouldn't risk it.
No.
May we have our next contestant, please? Hello. Your name, please.
William Shakespeare.
And your occupation?
One that doth make words to dance upon the page, and thence into the ear of the throng.
I'm sorry, I don't quite...
I write plays.
Right, well, why didn't you just say so? And your chosen specialised subject?
Phrases, what I made up.
William Shakespeare, you have 2 minutes on phrases, what you made up, starting from now. To be or not to be, that is the question.
I know it is.
I'm sorry?
I know that's the question. You just asked me it.
No, the question is, did you make it up?
You just said the question was to be or not to be.
To be or not to be, that is the question, is the question.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, I did make that up.
Correct. Good riddance.
I've only just arrived.
No, did you invent the phrase, good riddance?
Yes, I did.
Correct. Heart of gold.
Oh, thank you. That's very flattering.
No. Were you the first person to use the phrase heart of gold?
Yes, I was.
Correct. Dead as a doornail.
Oh, yes, that is one of mine. Henry VI, Part 2, the sequel.
Correct. Wild Goose Chase.
Oh, yes, that's mine. Are they still using that?
They are indeed. Correct. Knock, knock. Who's there?
No, that's wrong. You say knock, knock. Then I say who's there.
No. Did you invent it?
What?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
No.
No, who?
No. Did you come up with the phrase, knock, knock, who's there?
Yes, I did.
Correct. For goodness sake.
Oh, that's one of mine too.
Correct. All the world's... I've started, so I'll finish.
No, that's one of yours.
Correct. William Shakespeare, at the end of that round, you have scored 8 points.
Sorry, is this what you do for entertainment nowadays?
Yes, it is, yes.
I think I prefer the theatre.
I think I prefer the theatre. Get out of the chair now.
Okay.
In ancient Mexico, us Aztecs ate all sorts of unusual stuff, like monkeys, frogs and lizards. But at a certain time of the year, our diet wasn't nearly as interesting.
Previously on Aztec Come Dine With Me, Mamexi served up a meal of maize and beans.
Ooh, thank you.
Come here, Maize and Beans.
Shantico prepared a dish of maize and beans.
Sir, it's maize and beans. Can I get you one of these?
Oh, yes.
Everyone for beans?
Oh, yes, please.
And Tennant cooked maize and beans with a side order of beans.
Quelle surprise.
It's the final dinner party. Can't wait to find out what Atsy's going to be cooking for her guests tonight.
I've decided to cook maize and beans because I don't have any choice. In the Aztec calendar, it's the days of eating maize and beans when we just eat maize and beans. For 19 days, it's to celebrate the end of the dry season.
Yes, and the beginning of the windy one. It's hot and sticky in the kitchen, and Atsy hasn't even started cooking. And now the guests are arriving. That's no good.
Yeah, take your blanket.
You look fabulous.
Oh, so
you
do
look
you.
really, really nice.
Fantastic. Now, I'm just in the kitchen, so just help yourselves to some cactus wine.
Thank you. All right.
Cactus wine? I hope they've taken the spikes out. Meanwhile, back in the kitchen, Atsy prepares the sacred maize in the traditional Aztec manner by blowing on it. Well, that's one way of doing it.
Oh, no.
Oh, please tell me you're not going to use that maize. It's been on the floor.
Maize is sacred to us Aztecs, so not a single grain must be wasted. Is it me or is it a bit drafty in here?
It's you. It's time for dinner, and before the main course of maize and beans, Atsy has prepared a surprise starter.
Wow.
It's maize and beans.
Whoa!
Love it. That is my favourite. Mine too.
Several plates of maize and beans later, it's time for Atsy to entertain her guests by playing a tune on her Aztec pipes, while the other guests give a blast on their Aztec pipes. Go on, fella. Time for the all-important scores. A 3 from Mamexi, 7 from Shantico, and a big fat one from Tennant, who gives Atsy 10 out of 10, which means that Atsy is the winner of this week's cash prize, 1,000 beans.
1,000 beans?
Relax, relax. They're cocoa beans for making chocolate. It's Aztec money.
Oh.
Yeah, when I said relax. Next week on Aztec Come Dine With Me, it's the days of swallowing water snakes and frogs. Can't wait. In this week's episode of Victorian Undercover Proprietor, Sir Titus Salt has gone into the mills where he made his fortune. He's disguised as one of the workers to see what life is really like for his employees.
So, what's it like to work in this factory?
Noisy!
So they can't see, it's too noisy.
No, it's noisy! It's smoggy too, it gets into the lungs!
Sorry? Oh, I see, the smog gets into your lungs. Right.
No, it gets into the lungs!
What?
Titus has finally got the message about the terrible conditions his employees work in, and their living conditions aren't much better.
Wife, kids, here's the new bloke I was telling you about. New bloke, wife, kids.
Pleased to meet you. Could I possibly use your lavatory?
Oh, what a story.
Lavatory. A small room outside you used to do your business.
Your business?
No, it's not my business. I'm just a humble worker.
No, well, you said do your business.
Yes, a toilet. A small room you used to poo in.
Disgusting. Just go in the backyard like everybody else.
OK.
Oh, will you not stay for your tea?
I'd love to. What is for tea?
I think it's nothing tonight. We can't afford it. Luckily, we're not that hungry because all the cotton fluff from the mill gets in our bellies.
I wish you wouldn't do that.
I'm sorry.
Not wanting to spend any longer living with them than he absolutely has to, Titus has decided it's already time to reveal his true identity to the Hovel family.
I expect you're wondering why I brought you here. I'm not a humble mill worker. I am, in fact, the owner of these here mills, Sir Titus Salt.
No! I knew it! I knew that were a disguise as soon as I saw the daft fake beard.
Ow!
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Over this past week, well, day, I've experienced firsthand the hardships of working in one of my mills. I've seen how tough it is for you to live in such a horrible, dirty, filthy, cramped, disgusting little hovel.
Steady on.
So I'm going to build a new village. And I'm going to call it Saltaire. And it'll be a model village.
We'll never fit in it.
Not that sort of model village. It'll be the model of all the village should be. Everything you could possibly want will be there. Fresh air, hospital, a church, even a reading room.
We can't read.
Aye, but your children will be able to. For there will be a school there.
Aww.
And you'll even have your own lavatory.
Why would anyone want a small room to poo in?
And I shall build a new cleaner mill nearby where you can work for me.
I'm not being funny, but what's in it for you?
Well, happy, healthy people make better workers.
You got yourself a deal.
All right.
Just one question.
Fire away, my friend.
You sure that's not a fake beard?
Don't push it.
Next week on Victorian Undercover proprietor, Lord Lever reveals his plans to build his factory workers' houses, which have bathrooms.
What's a bathroom?
It's a small room with a bath in it.
What's a bath?
It's where you wash yourself with soap.
What soap?
This is going to be harder than I thought.
Henry just loved chopping off heads. Didn't do it himself, mind. He had trained executioners to do the dirty work. I wonder how you get chosen for that job.
The Axe Factor.
It's a Monday morning in Tudor England, and a batch of new recruits are about to see who's up to the challenge of landing their dream job. Chopping people's heads off.
Must be living the dream, really. Well, more of a nightmare, I suppose.
My mum reckons I'll be really good at this job. Got all the right qualities.
And what does your dad think?
I don't know. I chopped his head off.
I mean, some people say, this isn't a job for a woman, but to be honest, you're wearing a mask, so who's going to know?
It's not just about chopping people's heads off. There's all sorts of skills required in the job. There's hanging people, dropping people in boiling oil, chopping the limbs off, and then, of course, you got the slitting people open, watching the stomachs fall out. Right, you're out!
Oh, please, sir. I've got so much more to give.
God, I didn't even mention pulling people's lungs out. Oi, watch me shoes! Vamos!
The remaining recruits are set to their first task, which is to lift the axe.
So what makes you think you can do this job, Sonny?
I like the uniform, and I just want to be independent, stand on my own 2 feet. 1 foot.
Next! Right, listen very carefully. The type of noose used in a public execution varies according to the time of day the execution is to be carried out. This is the 7 o'clock noose. This is the 9 o'clock noose. And this is the noose at 10. And this is the person that wrote that joke. Now, what makes you think you should be given the job?
Well, I've got the axe, and you haven't.
Good point. Welcome to the tower.
4 eager chefs, 4 historical eras, but just one prize. Who will be crowned historical master chef?
Whoever wins this competition, it will change their lives. What he said.
Ernie is a World War I soldier who has to prepare his own meals from limited rations.
Mate, you can't do that. That's unhygienic.
Oh, but it feels so good. I've been stuck in those freezing cold trenches for months. Months!
You can't leave these
Yeah, my socks are a bit riddled with lice, I'm afraid. Oh, don't worry, mate. You get used to the itching.
Do you?
No. Still, waste not, want not, eh? The red ones are more juicy.
With Greg deloused, it's time to find out what Ernie will be serving up.
OK, everyone, time's up. Stop cooking meals of food.
Well, first up, I've made dog and maggot.
Not actual dog and maggot.
Oh, no. That's just trench talk for bread and cheese. I'm following that with baby's head.
Right, not actual babies.
No, not actual babies. That's trench talk for meat pudding. It's called that because it looks a bit like a baby's head. And lastly, my piece de resistance, messenger pigeon pie.
Now you're talking.
Just to double check, not actual messenger pigeon.
Yeah, actual. Well, we weren't sending any messages, so waste not, want not. Talking of which, it's not bad.
Ernie, your food was disgusting. However, we admired your resourcefulness, and for that reason, we're putting you through to the next round. Congratulations, mate.
Oh, that's wonderful, thank you.
What is this?
Tea from stale rainwater I scooped out of a dirty shell hole. It does tend to give you quite bad diarrhoea if you're not used to it.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to make it, boys.
Waste not, want not, eh? Oh, still not used to it,
Did you know when World War I soldiers finished off tins of jam, they'd sometimes fill the tins with explosives and use them as grenades? Imagine if they lobbed the wrong one, eh? Oh, I'm wounded and I've been hit by a grenade. Oh, no, hold on, it's just jam.
People from the different bits of ancient Greece were very different from each other. The Greeks from Athens and Sparta really were like chalk and cheese.
This is the Athenian family of Athens.
Hi, I'm a playwright.
And they're doing a wife swap with the Spartan family of Sparta.
I'm a warrior.
So how will these two very different Greek cultures get on?
Help me with my bag, Spartan slave, and then go and tell the master of the house that Mrs. Athenian has arrived.
I am the master of the house.
Oh, I'm sorry. And where's your dear son? I believe, like us, you have a 7-year-old boy.
I do. He's out naked in the hills fighting with the other Spartan children.
Oh. And when will he be back?
When he's 15.
Things aren't getting off to a much better start in the Athenian household.
Oh, welcome! Welcome, Mrs. Spartan, to our home. I'm Mr. Athenian. This is my son.
Why is he so puny and sickly? Why was he not taken up a mountain to die at birth? What's that water coming from his eyes, eh?
She's joking. She's joking.
And Spartans have a very different idea of a woman's role.
Right. Time to get something for supper.
Great. What are you hunting?
What are you hunting? Go get us a rabbit.
But I'm just a delicate Athenian woman. I'm not allowed out of the house apart from to visit other women or to go to funerals.
You are going to a funeral. The rabbits.
These Spartans are unbelievable. You're at school, Spartan girls learn how to wrestle and throw javelins. Imagine that! A girl going to school. They should be at home, learning how to sew.
So, Mr. Athenian, are there any parts in your plays for a strong woman?
Oh, yes.
Right, then I should play it.
Oh, no. You're a woman. All female parts are played by men.
All right, well, I'll come and watch it then.
Oh, don't be silly. You're not allowed. You're a woman. Ah!
What a wimp this Athenian is, eh? I mean, what kind of a job is writing plays, eh? In Sparta, if you want a good night out, you just go and slaughter a wolf. Simple as.
It's time for the Spartans and the Athenians to settle their differences.
Look what you did to my wife.
It's not my fault she fainted. She should be tough like my woman.
She's no woman.
I'm no slave like Athenian women.
You uncivilised Spartan brutes.
You la-di-da Athenian sissies.
Right, that's about as much as I can take, okay? All right? Now, there's only one thing for it.
Agreed! A fight to the death!
No, I was actually thinking of a vote to see whose way of life is best.
Okay. I vote Spartan.
I vote Spartan.
I vote Athenian.
I don't get a vote. I'm only a woman.
I make that 2-1. To Sparta!
Run, Jean!
Hello, my name is... Well, it's none of your concern. You're watching The Real Victorian Hustle, the show where real Victorian criminals show you real Victorian scams. Hand it back, Dodger. First up, an entry-level hustle, the shivering dodge. On a cold morning, just wear your thinnest clothes and shiver like crazy. With any luck, some tom-tug mug will take pity on you. Oh, Ma, you poor street urchin. You look positively freezing.
I am perishing cold, sir.
Here, buy yourself something warm.
Oh, thank you, kind sir. Tom Tug.
What did you say?
I'll buy a rug.
Coat would seem more practical, but still. I'll look after those, shall I, Dodger?
How comes it's me who does the hard work, but you get to keep the spangle?
'Cause I'm the brains. Next hustle, the Lucifer dodge. All you need is a tray full of matches to sell, and of course another rich tom tug. Just pretend they've made you spill the matches.
Oh no, my matches!
Here's something for your trouble, boy.
For this last hustle, the Skuldrum dodge, you just cover your bare arms with soap and rub in some vinegar. The unholy mess should look like ugly blisters.
Oh, please help me, sir. I'm so very sick.
If the soap on your arms isn't working for you, then you can also try sticking some soap in your mouth.
I'm so very sick.
Or even try strapping a leg up to make it look like you've lost one. If you're thinking of trying any of these hustles, do be warned, Victorian police are wise to them. Largely because most Victorian police officers are ex-criminals who grew up doing them themselves.
There he is, officer. There's the man who stole all my money.
Little snick fudger.
You're nicked.
One other Victorian hustle was to eat bread left out for the birds until someone took pity on you and gave you some cash. Though trust me, do not try nicking bread off a swan. They may look pretty, but they're ugly on the inside.
Ghastly, mean and cruel, stuff they don't teach you